What up, everybody? It's your girl July from Youth on Record, and today I'm going to show you how to make an NLE Choppa type beat. The one we're making sounds like this. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, we're going to go over this piano melody that I have up at the top. This is what it sounds like, and this is what it looks like. So what we're doing here is we're playing off of the scale, which is D sharp minor or E flat minor. I'll put it up on the screen so that you can see what it looks like. We're playing off the half notes in the scale, which are here, and we're just going down from the 6th, 5 to the 4th, and then up again. And these are the top notes. These are the melody notes, not the melody notes, but these are the top notes of the clip that we're playing. And we go down here. This is the root note, the 5th, the 6th, back up to the 6th, an octave up though, root, 5, 6, that's the 5, and then we do a little bit of variation here on the second half and add a little turnaround effect. So rather than it just being empty like this one, there's more notes here so that you know it's going back to the beginning or something's different. All right, now if you wanted to do that by yourself and start something new, then I'll show you what that would look like. Let's create a region. I'm gonna drag this out from the bottom. If you drag it out from the bottom, it'll make it longer. If you drag it out from the top, it'll just loop that original section that you had when you created the clip. Okay, so if we want to make something similar, then we're going to use those root notes, the 5th and the 6th, just like I did. So this is the root, that's the 5th, that's the 6th. So we could do something like that. It'll be faster. So we could do that. But let's add some spaces in between because my original had some more space. And we could add, this is another half step we can utilize, and the half steps make it sound darker. So we can use that and go back up. Now see what this sounds like. That sounds cool. So let's make all these notes shorter. Then we could copy this over. If you have a Chromebook, you might not be able to copy it over. You need to hold down Option or Alt on a Mac. Now let's put on these loop points. Now what you will also do is add some of those top notes like I did originally. So these higher notes go up to a higher octave. Maybe we do something like this. Utilizing those half steps and the octaves. So that sounds kind of cool. What you want to do when you're making these notes is pay attention to what is playing on both of them. Sometimes you might put notes that play at the same time that might not sound good. So check that. Then duplicate that over. Add some variation. Whoops, I did that wrong. Holding down Alt to copy them over. Right there. And then We'll do that. Let's hear what it sounds like. Something like that. All right, and if we were to add the rest of the beat, let's hear what it would sound like when it drops in. We'd probably change up the bass around that, of course, but that's what it would sound like, and that's what it would look like if you were to do this from scratch. All right, so I'm going to go back to what I had before, and then we'll move on to the next sound. All right, the next sound we have is another grand piano sound, and what that looks like, you zoom out, is this right here. Turn off the loop points, whoops. Okay, so what we're doing here with these notes is, again, utilizing those half steps in the scale, the notes that are next to each other, and the root. Half steps, root, half steps, root, half steps, root. Okay, so right here we have it in a lower octave. It's in the C3 range, and up here we brought it up an octave, so it's different the second time around. Just keep adding that variation. All right, next up we have the clap. The clap is really simple. It's just on the second and fourth beats. So when the beat drops, it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And where I got this sample was from Sample Focus. So you can go to Sample Focus, create an account using your email, one that you remember and can access, and you can get 5 free sounds each day. So every morning you wake up, or every day when you get home from school or whatever and you're about to make beats, come on Sample Focus, find 5 samples that you really like and download them and start building your sound library. So you can look for kicks, claps, piano sounds, you can look for choirs, you can look for melodies even. There's loops on here too. So for example, what's on this homepage? So some pretty cool stuff on here, and it's got trap specific stuff. If you click on this trap button, or you click on the EDM button, or you can even look up other genres, just type it in. And it'll give you some more loops than what's available on Soundtrap. It's just an option. All right. Next up after the clap, we have this kick. And I also got this kick from Sample Focus. So again, sign up. All right, and next we got 808 Atom. 808 Atom is from the Soundtrap sound library, right? So I went to the instruments like that, guitar and bass, went to my 808, clicked on 808 Atom, and that's how we got there. And this pattern looks like this. And again, I'm using the root note, 5th and the 6th. And playing with those octaves. And kind of going with the piano melody, so it matches that quite a bit, the lower parts. It's kind of following these notes, but I'm also adding some variation so that it's not exactly the same. As far as the kick in relation to the 808, they're not hitting at the same exact times. Sometimes if you place the kick exactly where the 808 is hitting, you can have a good bounce, but you can elevate your bounce if you differentiate them a little bit. Add some kicks where there aren't 808 hits, or add some 808s where there aren't kick hits. All right. Moving on, we have this hi-hat. This is just a loop from the Soundtrap library over here. All right, let's play it. That plays all the way throughout the beat. You can cut it, chop it up, and do effects on the hook if you want to. This right here is a kalimba, one of my favorite sounds in Soundtrap, and this is what that pattern looks like. So this is also very similar to the piano patterns that I was adding. We're utilizing that root, the 5th, and the 6th. We even drop down to the 4 to continue downward motion of this specific pattern, but we go back up to the 5th. And it just adds some variation throughout the beat. All right, nothing too crazy. You can be really simple with this. Next up, we have a crash. I use this to differentiate between the starts of new parts of the beat. So this first one is the start of the verse. And this next one I placed is the start of the hook. And we have one at the second part of the hook as well, and back into the next verse. All right, and then the next part is the risers and the transitions. These also help differentiate between the parts of the beat. So when you hear these in the beat, you know that you're changing sections. So this right here is an alarm riser effect. You can get some of these on Sample Focus as well. An alarm riser effect that is going into the intro. It's the intro going into the verse, I mean. Now, when you get sounds like these, you can time stretch them. And in order to do that, you have to hold down Option or Alt to make them longer. Now, if you're using a Chromebook, you might not be able to do that because you won't have that Option or Alt button. You'd have to use a different computer to get it to work. If your Chromebook has some sort of USB option where you can plug in a different keyboard, you also might be able to do it like that. So keep that in mind. That's going into the verse. This is the one that plays going into the hook. And it just repeats from there. So we have that alarm going into the next verse, that wind riser sound going into the next hook, and we have the alarm going out to the outro. All right, so that covers how we made this NLE Choppa type beat. If y'all have any questions, drop them down in the description. Again, my name is July. Y'all go have fun.